Summer is fast approaching, and I think it's time we took a little bit of stress out of our lives, isn't it? With HelloFresh UK, you can get all the ingredients and inspiration you need to make your meal times and your cooking experience simpler than ever. HelloFresh provides a number of recipes and meals to make your life as easy as possible and also caters to a wide range of different dietary requirements. Use my special discount to get 50% off your first order plus 35% off the next three and three free gifts as well. What more could you ask for? Check out the discount link or the checkout code down in the description below. Well, after the ridiculous range of emotions covered in the last episode, we're back on an even keel for the start of this one. We've got a late deadline day signing to meet, we've got a great result to reflect on, and a little gamble we took a couple of days ago that I think might have paid off. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 111 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today with Distillery for the second leg of our knockout playoff round in the Europa League. We go to Derry City after a 2-2 home draw, which on paper you might say doesn't look great, but I think it might be brilliant. We'll see why in a moment. We also face Linfield in the SPFL Trust Trophy with what will be a fully rotated team, I can assure you. So if you're looking forward to that, in addition to meeting a deadline day edition to replace the exiting Rory Lennon, and please do put a thumbs up on it. It's not an exciting signing, but I think it might be a clever one. So let's go and start by meeting him. If we go over to the transfer screen at the minute, I should mention that there's a few players leaving the club. Jonathan McElhatton wants to go. We've managed to delay it a couple of weeks so he's available for these matches, but he'll be off to Shelbourne next week. And then Lewis Scott will likely be off to Bohemians as well. And I don't think Curtis Bell will be far behind. We're just waiting for the wage demands to be matched. We go over to the transfer history though. You left me at the end of deadline day with about 2 hours to go last time, after a Coleraine player had rejected us and our board had sold Rory Lennon, which is still boiling my blood a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that. However, we did get a replacement in from the same club for a fraction of the price, which might be clever, and I'll tell you why. Brendan Thompson is the man who came in. He was transfer listed immediately because he was not good enough for Linfield because Lennon had basically taken his spot in the squad. Now, he's very naturally fit, he's versatile, he's not brilliant, and you can see that technically he is nowhere near the player Lennon is, but mentally he's okay, physically he's very good, he's 2.5-star ability, which is basically sort of Archie Whitehall level, but a different type of player, on a very low wage, and he's homegrown in the nation, which has been a big problem with us registering a full squad in the league this season. So what it does mean now is, as well as getting him at the end of deadline day, we can now pick up a free agent and register them during the year. But for $6.5 grand, I think that's a pretty good deal for a 26-year-old. He's never going to set the world alight, but another decent player to add to the squad. And as many of you have said in the comments in the early part of this season, it is about quantity as much as it is quality. And I'm looking at him and thinking quantity without costing us another place in the squad. So let's have a look at the schedule and see how that's affected our campaign, because we followed it up with arguably the best performance of the save, which I said last episode too. But we won 7-1 at Larne in the Irish Cup. Now, they weren't resting many for this game, probably 2 or 3 missing. They also, on deadline day, just to make it harder for us, signed 2 loan players from other clubs in England, and they were brilliant. Max Whelan is a striker that is ready to play at the top level, probably one of the best in the division, and Lewis Jackson was popping up in our scout reports. It's a very solid central midfield option. So it is a club that is definitely on the up. Linfield, of course, stole their best defender and our best midfielder. So the big clubs are still improving on and off the pitch. But we beat them 7-1 with a Lafferty hat-trick, 2 for Parry, 1 for Varma and 1 for Griffiths. It's the best display I've watched for a long time. We were phenomenal. We then had 2 very gritty performances as we tried to balance the fitness of the squad. Luke Smith scored the winner with a back post header against Cliftonville away from home. Away at Glenarvan, we nicked a 90th minute winner with Brian Varma. I rotated and I gambled there and it almost cost us, but thankfully Griffiths and Varma did the trick. We then took the biggest gamble on Tuesday because we knew that we had these 2 legs 2 days apart due to the stupid scheduling and due to the fact we're sharing Windsor Park. As a result of that, both us and Derry City are playing 2 games in 2 days at the highest level. Now, I've gambled that Derry are going to play their first team on Tuesday and then have to deal with either very fatigued players or backup players on Thursday. So I went the other way. I rotated almost the full 11, and thankfully we got a very soft early penalty and Maury Simpson popped up with a goal. That got us a 2-2 draw, and in the context of this tie, with our first 11 now fresh for Thursday night, I think that's a great result. I'll find out if I'm right later. We have had problems with injuries again. We've still got a few we can't register because we only had 3 replacement slots in the squad, and I had to give them to the midfielders after what we lost. So Dunn came into the squad, Jude came in as well, and it was going to be Stout or Lynch, but in the end I had to go for Thompson because we lost Lennon on deadline day. We've also had Neil Kane out injured since the last episode. We've not had our first choice goalkeeper. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with where we are as a result of that. If we look at the table, we're back up to 3rd. We're well clear of Warren Point now, given the 4 games in hand. Linfield, of course, will overtake us. And of course, we cannot catch Larne. Coleraine still doing well, but I would expect us now to be in that top 3. The big question is, can we get the top 2? Let's go and get through to the fixtures though. Linfield are 1-1 after their first leg against the Dents. We're 2-2 after our first one against Derry City. So let's go and pick the team. It will be fully rotated from the last game. Now let's go and see what we can put out. This is the team we've got for today with a fully fit first 11. It is Darren Murphy in goal. Of course, Kane still not back to full fitness. But Ray and Reid, the fullbacks, with Mackenzie and Goss as centre half. Jude and Daly, the midfield 2. Dunn and Parry, the wingers. And then Griffiths behind Lafferty up front. Lafferty is in the form of his life at the minute. It's the reason I'm not as worried about McElhatton going. But this is the team we've got for today's game. I'm hopeful that the fitness is going to give us the edge. We've generally over the years been better away from home in Europe too. So let's see how we get on and whether we can reach the last 16. This could be history for Distillery. Well, here we go then, and it's a remarkably similar team for Derry. Just 3 changes in the end. Sean Ruffin is one of those to drop out. Interestingly, they've decided to keep Zach Williams in, who we managed at Palace in the head coach, and those star midfielders we talked about before. But what that means in terms of fitness, as we tell the lads that we want to see more from them, let's go and get through to the opposition one. There are some fatigue legs in there. The midfield is tired, the defence is tired, and to be fair, looking at the bench, their best players are struggling too. They're a winter-to-winter league. They've not played a lot of club football recently. It's got to fall into our advantage. Let's go and get through to the first half. The Europa music is about to start. They didn't show too much ambition away from home, as we've come to expect. But given our poor defence, they got a couple of goals. Here, it's a full house. It's a brilliant atmosphere. It's a good little ground as well, in fairness. And we have got to try our best with everyone bar our keeper fit to get a result and get through to the last 16 for the first time. Last year, it was history in the Europa Conference League, our first group stage campaign and reaching the last 16. If we can match that this year in the Europa League, we are making real progress as a club. Let's go and skip through to the first half here. The music is still going for some reason. Let's see how we get on. 5 minutes gone, it's 0-0 and Flynn's got a throw in, the skipper. Maybe a foul throw by the animation there, but they carry on with Williams. We're trying to be front-footed in this game. I'm not sitting back at all. Maybe early doors I'll regret that, as Gray goes back to midfield for Robert Smith. Gray again gets it wide to Drury, and on the overlap they go. Not sure that the defender should be committing there. Chipped over the top to Houlihan, well dealt with by Goss, and Murphy's got the ball safely in his arms. We need to keep the ball better, but otherwise we're still in this tie. And as a Linfield, they've just taken the lead away in Denmark. This is starting to look very good. Let's encourage our lads, let's get on with it, and let's hope we can both get through. A Dents have equalised right on cue. Well, coming up to half-time here, it's been a nothing game in Ireland, and Derry City are on the front foot. A couple of set pieces, but no real chances, and that's a poor header from Griffiths. The one thing that's disappointing me today, we're not keeping the ball as well as we normally do, and that has been the hallmark of our game when we've been in successful form in the past, as Roberts gets the ball on the right for them. To the byline he goes, good crossing, Goss heads away, Dunn can bring it clear, big ball over the top, it's a different approach, but it might work, Lafferty's in, rounds the goalkeeper, and he's hit the post. He had to score that. Dermot Lafferty is a golden opportunity, and I don't know how he's missed the open goal. At half-time, it's going to stay 2-2 on aggregate. Do you know what? We're still in the tie, but that was the moment. It's been a nothing game. They've had no threat at all, and we've not offered much bar that one shot either. We are on the front foot now, though, and this is where I would expect the physical advantage to show. as Lafferty crosses for Ben Parry. Unmarked at the back post, the right side of that defence we knew was tired, and we've taken advantage of it. Brilliant stuff from Ben Parry. Great ball from Lafferty, who turns provider. And now we've got something to cling on to, and we should have the superior fitness as Goss goes forward. Flynn intercepts it, and he's back to his goalkeeper. Can we keep it tight at the back now? We worked on it, we took this gamble, and although it could have backfired in the first leg, we are half an hour away from looking a genius here. Although that ball's pretty good to Houlihan. Great save from Darragh Murphy. Not a regular goalkeeper, doesn't get too many games for us, but he's delivered a big moment there. And look at Linfield as well. I was about to say they've gone ahead, but they've conceded straight away again. And Derry City are starting to get a foothold here. Another set piece in. Header to the back post, bells in. And it's Sean Ball who heads the ball into the back of the net. 1-1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate. We were never going to keep a clean sheet, were we? Let's see if we can push on from here. Because arguably in the second half, they've become the better side, which is a bit of a worry for me. As Jude gets the ball to Griffiths. Chance to play in midfield. Gets it back again. Jude loses the ball. He's not had a good game in there. But Goss wins it back for Ray. On the left-hand side. Definitely improving at a rate of knots. Through ball to Lafferty. Good ball from Jude. Lafferty dinks it. It's off the woodwork again. He cannot stop hitting the woodwork today. We've got 15 to go. Derry are starting to dominate this match. I'm not sure what's changed here. But let's go and make our subs. Morgan Griffiths has had a poor game. He's going to be replaced by... I'm going to go Brendan Thompson. Daly will go into the number 10 role. I might even do a sub out wide as well. Because then... Hang on a minute. I'm going to bring on Puarte for Neil Daly. Duncan go as the number 10, which is his preferred role anyway. Then at right back, we've got Luke Smith who can come on. Not the perfect replacement, but it will do. I think I'm going to leave it for now. That's 3 changes made. We've got 15 minutes to go. We just need to find that vigour again because in the second half, it's been all Derry City. And considering we should have the fresher legs, I'm a bit concerned about that. Let's do the other centre midfielders. We're going to go Jude off for Tom Robinson. And then in attacking mid, Varma will come on. We're going to do Parry or Dunn. I'm going to take Ben Parry off. 2 traditional wingers. Let's go for it. We have got 2 minutes plus stoppage time. How many are added on? 4 minutes. Lennon's been sent off for Linfield. He might cost them the tie. Can't sound devastated about that. We've now got extra time. Who else can we bring on? Do I go McClellan just so we're fresh back there? Yes, I do. Sam McClellan on for Duncan McKenzie. Not sure which way round they're better. We're going to leave it as is. We're into extra time, and this is still anyone's game. Well, the first 20 minutes of extra time passed with no incident, but Linfield have now gone behind with their 10 men. And look who cost them the game. It is Rory Lennon. Serves you right. Here, though, no highlights. We're straight to penalties, and we have not got good takers on the pitch. Let's just see how we do. Lafferty and Dunn will go near the top just because they're confident. Darragh Murphy is in our top 5 penalty takers, and he looks confident. Let's stick with what the penalty ratings say. Luke Smith will be just behind them. Puarte just behind that. And then Paul Ray, and we'll get to the rest after. Farmer and Goss looking a bit more confident, so they'll be the 2 that come in first. We have got our penalty takers set. One of them is our goalkeeper, and it is by his rating rather than me being silly. Let's see how we get on here. Darragh Murphy, our backup keeper, or maybe there's a benefit. Is he a good penalty taker? Flynn steps up first. Didn't look like saving that one, did he? Maybe he's not going to do the goalkeeping bit well. Tom Robinson on. He's not the fittest, but he is the best penalty taker on paper. Doesn't mean much with our club. And it's not a good penalty. It's poor. It's slow. It's a little bit tired, even though he's only played half the game. And it's easily saved down to the keeper's left. Sean Ball, the man who sent us here, he puts his in the corner with a little bit more vigour. And Murphy can't stop it. Now it's all down to us to try and get back into this. And I'm not sure it's going to happen. As Damien Dunn, in he comes up front. Oh, wow. It could not be going worse. 2 poor penalties saved. 2 penalties scored by Derry City. And we are already 1 from going out. This has been a disaster. Murphy got a hand to that, but it was a good penalty. He wasn't going to stop it. And now we've got a score. But let's just face the facts. We are not getting through. And Murphy, the keeper, might not even get to take his penalty after all that. I cannot believe how bad they've been. As Lafferty steps up, must score, does score. We carry on for the moment. It will take more than a miracle to come back from here. And we're going out of the Europa League. It's a cruel way. And maybe the coefficient benefits because we've got 2 draws on the nights. But I'm not sure that we're going to be happy with this. The Northern Irish dream ends for both sides. Rory Lennon cost them. And for us, it has not been good at all. In penalty kicks, we go out as Derry City score all 4 of theirs. We only scored 1 out of 3. And to be honest, the gamble from Tuesday, it kind of paid off in performance, but we didn't get the result we wanted. Well, pretty remarkably, we've managed to find a full 18 that are in decent condition. Just Luke Smith, who's not in 100%, but to be fair to him, he's not played that many games from the start and his match load isn't too high. In fairness, we didn't expect extra time when he came on in midweek as well. Jonathan McElhatton might be playing his final game for the club. He's been here for years and £2.5 grand what a signing he's been. But this time it might be his final farewell. The rest of it though, pretty rotated. I think just Morgan Griffiths and the keeper keep their place and the rest of it we've changed in full. We've still not got Neil Kane. Bobby Harvey wasn't quite fit either. So we've got a fully rotated team. A pretty strong bench because the likes of Parry and Jude have been thrown on there. Otherwise, a few youngsters dotted about. Our lineup in full though is Murphy in goal, Stow and Lynch the fullbacks with Smith and McClelland as centre half. In fact, let me switch Lynch and Smith round. Then we've got Robinson, Thompson and Griffiths the midfield 3, McElhatton and Varma on the wings, and then Morris Simpson through the middle. A few players that were first team last season in this squad, so it's not the worst in the world. Let's see by comparison what Linfield have put out. And they seem to have gone a bit stronger if anything. They've brought back Mackie for McGuckin, which is an improvement. Mackie's a regular for my Northern Ireland team, as is Keith Martin, who's come into the 11. They've gone back up keeper. They've rotated a few. Corey George wasn't great. Wayne Adair is a youngster. And of course, Rory Lennon, he had a bit of an early bath, didn't he, on Thursday? But he's still a very good team overall. Let's go and get through the dressing room. It's the SPFL trophy. It's my favourite competition. If we win this, I think we've got a chance to go all the way. So let's go and get into the first half. I love the SPFL Trust Trophy. And given the fact that we've now gone out in Europe, and of course we're not going to win the league, are we? It would be great if between this or the Irish Cup, we could win one of those more reputable competitions. Well, early doors, it's Linfield in possession, keeping the ball at the back with Martin. George is able to bring it forward and it's back to Mills. Into Martin again. Chips it downfield over Mackie, who's the best player on the pitch by a mile. Cuts it back into Lennon, who's not far off that. Should be playing for our team. And he set up the goal. Straight at Murphy, who palms it back into danger. And O'Connor taps it in on a rebound. 5 minutes gone, we're 1-0 down. And it's all falling apart. It's the man that our chairperson sold. And you know what? It's not actually the worst thing, this. Because I would go into the chairman's office after this game. If we lose it by 1 in particular, I'll say, look, we've just been cost the game by this goal. Scored by Rory Lennon or set up by him. As it is, it might not be the case because Varma crosses for Simpson. He immediately pegs us back. It's 1-1 with 7 minutes gone. That's not a bad reaction in fairness. Well, it's almost half time. We are getting pasted on the stats. We've had 2 shots on goal in the whole match. Linfield have been the better. They've not had much of the ball, but they're dominating the chances. So let's go and get through the dressing room. Come on, I'm not going to say do it for the fans because it has no reaction. I'm going to say I'm proud of your efforts. You can do this. And a couple of them are positive. We have got to think about changes and maybe Linfield won't have the same number of fresh subs as us, but I thought that against Derry City and it didn't work out. As Simpson nicks it after McClelland's header hits the bar, back to Morgan Griffiths is a good block. It's out for a corner kick. We're still pushing. Can we get the goal? Morgan Griffiths, outswinging delivery. Look for that back post. You've got a few up there. Can Lynch find his goal? McClelland's up. Headed away as far as Robinson. He had the disappointment in midweek of missing that first penalty. He's looking to bounce back here. Long ball forward. Simpson can't win it. Varma loses out. Mackie and Lennon combine to get it away. Oh, the anger's coming out seeing Lennon in that Linfield shirt. With an hour gone, we're in this match. And we're going to have a look at substitutions. Because Smith's knackered. Few of the midfield not playing that well. With 20 to go, I think we're going to go for it. Firstly, Luke Smith is going to have to come off. We'll do a bit of shuffling in defence with everyone moving across one. And then Curtis Bell on at left back. I'm also going to take off McElhatton for Puarte and he can get his final round of applause. Does Griffith stay on with a poor performance or Robinson with poor fitness? No, Robinson off. It's going to be Damien Jude or Ben Parry. Parry on. Griffiths drops in. We're going to leave it like that. We've got 20 minutes to go plus stoppage time. We're not creating enough here to suggest we're going to win it. Let's encourage the lads one last time. Let's try and push for that winner. But I don't think it's coming as in extra time. We've given the ball away with Puarte. Conversely, it would be even worse if we lost this one in the last minute, wouldn't it? As Hancock gets the ball into Martin. Answers on a postcard. Would you rather lose in the last minute of stoppage time or on penalties? as Adair gets the ball in down the left. I think we're about to get our answer. Oh, how has Alan missed that? That is a huge opportunity for Linfield. We've somehow held on with 30 seconds to go. Bell's got one last chance to attack. Nearly 4,000 fans roaring us on. And Varma gets in on the left-hand side to Bell. Inside to Stowell, sorry. Forgotten his name for a minute there. He finds Thompson in the middle, the former Linfield man. Can he create something? Wide to Lynch. Get the cross in. Somebody put the ball in the box. There's 10 seconds to go. Griffiths has it. Big switch to Varma. Two in the middle if he can find them. He's headed away as far as Bell. Please cross it. Blocked up in the air. Parry up there. And it goes to extra time. Oh, we can't do 30 more minutes again. Let's just wait for the inevitable penalties, shall we? Although, hang on a minute. We've only got 3 back there. Thompson heads it away, so we get away with it. And Parry can bring it downfield. Has a runner on the right in Puarte, but it's under hit. Puarte does really well to make something of it. He's not kept the ball yet. McClellan gets it to Griffiths. Big switch to Varma. He's down the left-hand side. Great first touch. In he goes one-on-one. Brilliant goal from Varma. Shades of the Ryan Giggs with that finish into the roof of the net. It is a brilliant strike. It is a brilliant goal. And we are ahead in extra time. Can we finally dispel the demons of Thursday night by winning this game against Linfield? It is Curtis Bell who throws in, gives it away to Simpson, who gets it back to be fair. Varma can't clear it. And it's downfield by Mills, and Allen brings it away. Thompson on the yellow, cannot afford to commit a foul here. And he's coming down the left for Linfield. We've now got to get a challenge in. Back it goes to O'Connor. Down the left-hand side to Adair. Do not let them back in it again. McClellan clears to Parry. Down for Puarte. Come on, another goal on the break. Wrap it up. Puarte down the right. Here's where 11 changes might pay off. Puarte can cut it back. Ben Parry's there. Got a score. Oh, it's just over. Too much on it from Ben Parry. And it stays 2-1, but we look great at the minute. Well, Puarte's got a corner as we're into the second half of extra time. McClellan heads it over. I just want a third because otherwise it's going to be tense with all the time wasting and all that other stuff late on. I can't believe you don't even get a 4th sub in extra time as Bell throws into Parry. He brings it into Simpson. Lovely first touch on his chest. Corey George brings him down. Who's taking the penalty? Just don't let it be someone who was on the pitch at the end of the game on Thursday. Morgan Griffiths was not. He steps up. He scored a few for us before. Can he wrap this game up? Keeper's doing his dancing. Doesn't make a difference. We are going through in the SPFL Trust Trophy. And maybe it's our chance to win it now. Morgan Griffiths makes it 3-1. And this should be game over. We won't rule it out with Linfield as Martin just clears long. Adair's got in from it, you know. There's so many fatigued legs back there that you don't want to say it's over. They're straight down the other end with an easy shot. It's a good save from Darren Murphy. I'm going to chuck the time wasting on. I'm going to get all the defensive duties on too. We've just got to see this out now. Well, we've gone to a 4-4-1-1, 2 supporting wingers, 2 defensive fullbacks, and it's seen the game out well. There's the final tactic we finished with. A 3-1 extra time win against Linfield. A little bit of a recovery after that Thursday night heartbreak. We are through to the semi-final of my favourite competition. Maybe we've got a chance to win something. In fact, it's the final. I didn't realise that was the semi. The whole time I thought we were going to the last 4. Now I'm very excited. Let's see who we're facing. Well, we have drawn Hamilton Academical, who are bottom of the championship in Scotland in the final of the SPFL Trophy. Please let it be a competition win to make up for most of what's happened this season, all the frustration we can get rid of. And let's have a look at the schedule because it should be after our last game before the league split. I'm sure there'll be more fixture rearrangements and whatever else, and we've got a tough run of games. Larne followed by 3 in a row against Coleraine. We haven't yet played them this season, I don't think. This is going to be a test, but we'll be back for the final of this competition. Let's focus on winning something now. We're probably not going to win the league. In fact, we're definitely not. We're just fighting for the top 2 there. We'll show some of the running for that one, but this is about the big victory. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy this one, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments if you think we will win it and where do you think we're going to finish in the league. Heartbreak in Europe, but another good campaign. If you want to stay up to date with the rest of it, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back for another big episode in 2 days' time, our first cup final of the season. But before that, we're back with the head coach tomorrow. There's a little bit of a reunion to come in that one. I hope you're looking forward to it. A massive thank you for watching. All the other links in the eye above for the head coach, for the Twitch streams and for the football podcast too. And I'll see you back here in 2 days' time for the SPFL Trophy Final.